Hello everybody, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Lakeland Vale Let's Play series with me, CWATTYESO, here in Farming Simulator 19. It is the morning of day 5 of spring, and Delores is on her way up to the store to continue making equipment purchases. There was something we did need yesterday. I bought a new fertiliser sprayer. Or we exchanged our fertiliser sprayer. I took it all the way back to the farm, but obviously I forgot to buy herbicide while I was up here. So there's a couple of things I'm going to need today. We're going to need a trailer or a tanker for transporting liquids, because we don't seem to have one at the farm, or we didn't start with one. So I'm going to have a quick look, see what we've got in stock. Now, I'm wondering where it's going to be. Is it under miscellaneous? Nope. Is it under animals, perhaps? Yeah, I don't want one of the massive ones, because we would need a truck to haul that. The little one will do, and the little one seems to do quite a lot of things: water, milk, liquid fertilizer, slurry, digestate, herbicide, seed and lime, diesel, DEF, long life milk, and it also does the urea and acetic acid, which I'm going to need for herbicide production later on. What's the difference? Put it on Nokian tyres, I think. How about yellow? Right, I've got chrome, stainless steel, or black. I think I'm going to have it in the stainless steel. So I'm going to buy one of them. We are indeed going to buy one of those for $13,500. We are then also going to need some herbicide. So 2,000 litres. I wish at some point in the not too distant future, if anyone from Giants is watching, or if anyone knows anyone at Giants and can get a message to anyone at Giants who actually works on this game and programs this game, could somebody change it so that when you come into the store to buy things like pallets of stuff like fertilizer, seeds, etc., etc., when you come in here, you have the option to select how many pallets you want to buy in one go, because it's so annoying buying stuff one bag at a time. You know, when you go to buy bales, you have the option of selecting how many, you know, how many bales you want to buy, up to a maximum of 8. I would like to have seen that maybe extend to 16, but you know, it is what it is. But I would like to see a similar thing implemented for pallets, because it's annoying having to click on this. 1, 2. You got to press the flipping confirm button 3 times. 6,000. That's 8,000. That's 10,000. Right, 6 pallets should do. And obviously up here we've got our you can buy acetic acid and urea if we need to down the road for production. Right, where's my truck? Hopefully my truck will be able to pull this lovely trailer. Another thing I'm going to do, I'm going to go and show you the, I don't know if I showed you the global I've added the thingamajig global market mod The global market mod has been added to the server. Not the server, the game save, the save file. So I'll quickly show you that. I've placed it near some of the other sell points on the map because I think that's probably where it makes the most sense. There we go. Full 12,000 litres of herbicide. The reason I've gone for herbicide is because obviously we need to do the weeding. And unfortunately some of my fields have now passed the first growth stage on the map, which means I can't use the mechanical weeder anymore, which is really annoying because I also bought an additional mechanical weeder yesterday, which I was going to use because it also did the fertiliser state. It also increased the fertiliser state whilst you were using it. And that's exactly one of the things I was talking about in my last video. So anyway, this is the global company, global market mod. And you can come in here, look, and you can see exactly what's for sale by real players in the game. Other real players playing on their own single player games or their servers are using this. I don't know who keeps selling water. Somebody is selling lots of water and I think is trying to game the system a little bit. I don't know why you'd want to sell water because most people are never going to buy it because it's free and available on most maps. Free and available. I think the person's probably doing it to try and make in-game money. And in which case, I don't know why they, if they really just want to make money, why they don't just use like a government subsidy mod or easy development controls or just edit their XML file if they want to add cash quickly, because I don't see anybody buying that. And then obviously if we sell stuff and tip stuff in here, this is where it will all go, and then we can sell it from this screen to the global market. But this building's quite nice because you've got an area here for tipping all your liquids and fluid materials. You've got another area here for bringing your trailers and tipping all your bulk goods. You've got a little area here for selling all your pallets and bales and items and things like that. Around the back here, you've got an area where when you buy items that are in pallets or bales forms, they get spawned here for you to collect. There's a great big hopper here, so if you bought things like on the global, big bulky items on the global market, things like potatoes, sugar beets, that sort of stuff, it will come out of this pipe here for you to collect. And then there's a tiny little pipe just around the front here where you can collect your small grain items like your wheats, your barleys, you know, fertilizer, seed, that sort of stuff. But it's cool. I'm going to be using that. I'm going to, at some points during the Let's Play series, Delores will use that. She will use that to sell to. Another good thing about this map, while I'm up here, is if you continue driving down, I'll turn my headlights off now. If you continue driving down this road, look, there's a big area there for placeables. There's a big area there for placeables. And then there's another little area over here for placeables. So Stevie's really thought this through. Obviously he's got a lot of his own global company buildings which you can buy and place on the map, and I reckon I'm going to put a few of those in. Some of the big things like the diesel fuel production buildings, organic fertilizer factory, things like that. I'm probably going to place those onto these sort of areas because obviously they're not really suitable for having at the main farm. But that's what we'll do. and then we can utilise those. Right, so we're going to take this back because it's already 8:15 in the morning. I was hoping to have been weeding by now because I want to get a few things, try and get a few things done in this episode. I would like very much to be able to get the field sprayed, and I would then like to actually do my first mowing, get the first mowing done on the map, because our grass field is ready to be cut. So use me hazard lights, use me flashers. Got to use your flashers in Texas, otherwise you may get an angry Stone Cold Steve Austin yelling at you. Apparently that's his #1 pet peeve. People not using their flashers. But yeah, this little tanker is going to be very useful for transporting a few little bits and bobs. However, I have now run out of storage space. I've still got 4,000 litres left. Excellent, right. Park this then in here. I'm going to put the truck back, grab my lovely case, tractor, and get to doing some weed spraying. Now, astute observers will notice that my Case Magnum looks a little bit different than the one I bought yesterday in yesterday's video. The reason for that is we've got the American version now on the mod hub. In-game mod hub, there is an American version of the same vehicle, same price, just has the US configuration. So you've got the US configuration tyres and weight system. You don't have the hazard warning lights on the back and stuff. No difference in power or speed. It's exactly the same. So, you know, just to prove that, you know, don't want people thinking I'm cheating or anything. You got the Case Magnum there, look, 321,000. That's the European. That's the one I did buy yesterday, with, you know, 435 horsepower. And you got your wheel options, and we went for wheel weights. That was the one we bought yesterday. I decided to take it back to the store and swap it once I remembered I had that one. Is it that one? It's a little bit cheaper actually. Went for wheel weights. I put the front attachment on it. Did have fenders, had the standard hitch, yeah, standard hitch. Did do GPS on it. Did it at 435 horsepower again. We had the flashers, so it came out at 355,300 in total for the one that I bought yesterday, the new one. So 355,200 compared to 321,000. So actually, the American version cost me a little bit more, which makes that quite a little bit more of a expense. But the other case we bought was cheap, was actually less expensive than the 6M. So when we sold the 6M and bought the little case, we actually made a profit there because the little case was cheaper. And I'm going to install the pipe, start installing the pipes for chickens, because I want to add chickens. So I'm going to do that, because I would like to add the chickens because we want to start making some money. Alright, let's go. Do some weed spraying. Because yes, I did buy, as I say, another weeder. There is one on the mod hub, in-game mod hub, which actually has a built-in fertilisation function. You can also get it with a seeder, like a sowing machine, which plugs onto it and connects onto it, which allows you to do grass, oilseed radish and stuff, and those types of things. but I got it just for doing fertilizer, to be able to apply fertilizer as I'm weeding. It's probably not so good in seasons because obviously you get little patches of weeds everywhere, as opposed to like in the vanilla game where you would have the whole field covered in pink bits. So using that mechanical weeder, you'd only be fertilising little patches of your field, which would be quite strange to do. However, as you can see from the growth screen, only field 2 is still in its initial growth phase. Fields 1, 3 and 4 have advanced to stage 2, which is why when I tried to weed them, the mechanical weeder wouldn't work. So there's that. But hey ho. Right, we're going to do this. Right, what I'm going to do as well is set a GPS course. Can't see the lines. Show lines. Come on. I'm just going to shift that over. So in the first instance, we actually do manage to spray all this field. Right then, Delores, off we go. I'm going to do the whole field because I don't want weeds. We do not want weeds. So Delores is going to put the system to good use. I think put this little tractor to good use, pulling this lovely sprayer. So at the moment, yes, technically I do have 2 mechanical weeders. I may sell one of them back to the store. There's also something else I'm thinking of getting, because obviously we got this sprayer, and I'll be honest, I bought this sprayer because we started with a sprayer. Stevie was kind enough to give us a sprayer in our starting fleet of equipment, but I wanted the one that unloads like a tanker rather than onto pallets, so I swapped the vanilla tanker for this mod hub one. Exactly the same machine, no difference in capacity, performance or anything like that. The only difference is I can empty it without having to put stuff into pallets. I can empty the herbicide and liquid fertilizer out into storage tanks or whatever, rather than having to keep emptying it into pallets. However, I was thinking that if I was actually going to get a sprayer system, bearing in mind we started with 3 tractors on the map and we now only have 2. I've managed to condense the tractors down to 2 different tractors. I was thinking maybe we could condense the fertilizer sprayer and the fertilizer lime spreader. We could condense that down as well. And what I was thinking of maybe getting a Terrogator and then buying the sprayer attachment and the spreader attachment for it, because then one machine can do multiple jobs on my little farm here. And also down the road, as we get a little bit further into the series and I have more stuff available to me, we could get into a position whereby with the Terrogator, I also then have the option of doing manure and compost spreading, and I also have the option to do like slurry digestate spreading. with the same machine. So one machine could be used for like 4 jobs. And I think that would be economical in one degree. Yes, the Terrogator's initial cost is quite expensive. However, the attachments for it are not. It would also free up some of the shed space at the farm. I would only need to have the little attachments planted everywhere. Got some patches on the field. What's going on with them patches? Like weird fertilizer state or what? I've got, it's like PCF to me. Patchy crop failure. That's one thing I must admit I haven't checked in my version, the version of seasons that I'm running, which is obviously the latest available. I haven't checked what they've got as the rate for patchy crop failure. I normally edit it and turn it down a little bit because I find sometimes with seasons the patchy crop stuff is really, really excessive. Far too excessive. But I haven't done that in this year. In fact, I haven't touched the seasons mod at all, apart from adding my custom lighting mod settings and stuff to it. I've not touched any of the configuration or settings or anything to do with the seasons mod. So I've not played around with that for this series. It's probably something I ought to have looked at. Especially as I'm about to do the animals. Yeah. Because one of the things I was thinking when I come to do the animals, I was thinking that with this being obviously Texas map and American, that maybe I would do Brahmin instead of cows. I was going to do Brahmin on this map to keep it sort of themed and fitting. But I don't know if the Brahmin do milk or whether they're just for you know, meat. Something I will have to look at and look into, I think. Because I did toy with the idea of us going like dairy, being like a dairy farm, more so than like Fenton Forest, where I just had the male cows, fattening them up for meat and selling them off. But, you know, I like the idea of Brahmin, and I think they look funny too. So that's a reason in itself to have them on the map. But yeah, a lovely little case tractor is doing a good job of pulling this. Bonuses as well, the case tractor, which I didn't mention. The reason for maybe buying this over the 6M, it has a front 3-point hitch. It has a front linkage, as well as a rear linkage. 6M didn't. 6M had that cage thing on the front. So you couldn't put any tools or attachments on the front of the 6M. Both of them have front attachers for the front loader. Although the 6M was, like I say, was a bit weird in that we didn't actually get a front loader arms or any front loader attachments in the starting fleet. It was like the tractor was capable of doing it, but I don't know whether the previous farmer just didn't have the equipment, or maybe he'd already sold it off to somebody else. I don't know. But we've got a front loader for this little tractor, and we've got the big bag handler thing for moving pallets and bales and stuff like that, which we will probably need to do. I appreciate now as well that as I'm looking at the clock, I realise this video is already at 25 minutes at this point, which means I'm sadly probably not going to get the grass mowing done in this video. We'll probably do the grass mowing in the next episode. I will probably only get the weed killing done today. I must make a mental note in future that if I'm going to be doing tasks like this, that maybe I ought to just time-lapse them rather than do a whole episode of me spraying weed killer. Time-lapse and incorporate a few minutes of this to show people that I did it, and then move on to the next task. Now, one thing I have been doing, obviously all through the series so far, one of the things I've been doing is I've been playing at 10 times speed. I've had the game speed cranked 10 times, and that's not changed at all. However, what I'm thinking is with my previous knowledge of seasons, or my previous playthroughs of seasons, or experiences of seasons, whenever I do any like grass mowing, any mowing, or anything where I'm doing baling or loading wagon, swath collecting, or anything like that, I'm probably going to drop the game speed down to real time at that point, just because I don't want, if I'm mowing a field, I don't want the grass to rot, or I don't, if I've harvested a field and I've left straw on the field, I don't want the straw to rot whilst I'm collecting it. So whenever I do any mowing, or as I say, straw collecting, I'm going to do that in real time, because the way Seasons does the rotting of grass, hay, straw, if it's not undercover, can be quite a pain in the backside, especially when you're playing at different time scales and different speeds. It accelerates all that factor. The last thing you want to do is spend several minutes or an hour or so harvesting a field or mowing a field, and then you go to pick up the swaths and the flipping thing's rotted because Seasons has gone flipping mental. Oh, I know what I forgot to do. I know what I forgot. I forgot to do something very important. Where I might need that player like action cam mod. Let's get a screenshot for the thumbnail, people. And then let's fold that up. Right. So I've done the weeding. It's nearly midday. We've done the weeding. It's not bad. It's not bad. We've started ordering the chicken pipe for the chickens. Get the irrigation plumbed in. I'm also, when the irrigation is finished, I'm going to be interesting to see how it looks, because I have, like I say, I have had a bit of a play on this map on a separate save file without Seasons, just to test mobs and stuff like that. You know, I like to make sure I'm kind of prepared a little bit for the Let's Plays, and I can start, and on my test map I can kind of experiment with how I want things to go, where to place objects and buildings and placeables and stuff like that, which obviously Delores will be doing later in the series. But on that test map, when I did the irrigation, I went round and did the irrigation at all the animal pens, because obviously there's one for the sheep over here. There's one for the cows, one for the pigs as well. However, when I did those previously, I'm also thinking I might get rid of this building. And the reason for that is because this is like the buy point, like the farm supply purchase point thingy. I don't really want to use that in this Let's Play series because I don't want to be buying stuff from the farm. Like I say, I want Delores to be a little bit realistic in that sense, that she's going to go and fetch stuff she needs from the store. So I may get rid of that building, and what I might replace it with instead is some other little things like the diesel storage by Stevie, storing fuel at the farm, the herbicide storage for storing herbicide at the farm, liquid fertilizer storage for storing liquid fertilizer at the farm. You know, things like that I'm thinking of maybe putting in. Which I will probably use a lot more of. I can have them put in this little area. Also, being dead opposite the sheep here, it would be a good space to put me wool pallet storage building. You know, the one I used in Fenton Forest for storing all the pallets of wool. So they're out of the way until we decide to go and sell them. But yeah, I'm going to be very keen to see how this all plumbs in. Because as I say, on my test save, the pipes and stuff connected very weird and were like in the ground and very weirdly placed in the troughs. Not sure why that is. I hope it doesn't happen on this save, but if it does, I'm sure it's something that Mr. Stevie might look at fixing in a future update. Anyway, folks, we have reached the point, sadly, where this is the end of today's episode. I'm sorry I didn't get the mowing done today. It will be in the next episode. I've been CWATTYESO. Thank you for watching this video. I hope you've enjoyed it. If you have, make sure you've clicked that like button before you wander off to watch your next videos here on YouTube. Also, consider clicking that subscribe button if you're not doing so already. That way, not only do you help me out as a channel content creator, but you also help yourself out by making sure you get notified whenever I upload a new video. Also, feel free to drop your questions, your comments, your suggestions, your feedback, anything you want to say, anything you want to talk about, farming simulator related, drop that in the comment section below. And I'll see you all again very soon. Goodbye for now.